A man convicted of murdering his wife 25 years ago is now up for parole. Michael York admitted to hitting his wife, Heather, 25 times in the head with a hammer. Her family and friends are begging the state parole board, that is, to deny his parole. The Now's James Gherardi spoke to an officer who covered that case from day one.
He describes it as the most brutal case he has ever worked. He was one of the first officers to respond on the scene when Heather Sedevy was murdered in 1992, a scene he says he'll never forget. Streetsboro Lieutenant Troy Beaver had been on the force for just 4 months.
I remember walking through the apartment, seeing pictures of her, and I couldn't wrap my head around that this mutilated body in the other room was the same beautiful girl that was in these pictures.
Beaver found 23-year-old Heather Sedevy dead in her Streetsboro apartment in August 1992. She had her head hit in with a hammer. Her husband, Michael York, admitting to the heinous crime, telling police when he learned Heather wanted to leave him and end their marriage, distraught, he waited till she went to sleep, covered her head with a sheet, and began swinging.
It was just unbelievable to me at the time, and it's somebody who has no business in society and needs to stay where he's at.
This July will mark the third time York is up for parole. He was denied in 2002 and in 2012, but this time, 25 years later, Heather's family is making a desperate plea to the parole board to deny his parole and keep Heather's killer behind bars. An online petition in support of this has garnered nearly 2,000 signatures. A statement from Heather's mother on the petition website reads in part, "My beloved daughter, Heather, was dead at just 23 years old. Now, since Michael took her life, he should spend the rest of his life in prison."
She's devastated by this, and I think she certainly feels the same way I do. Michael York needs to stay in prison.
If his parole is denied, York will likely be up again in 5 years. Reporting in Streetsboro, I'm James Gherardi, News 5.